Richie Longshots in the flesh, joining us during World Cup season. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us to uh, share your wisdom of college basketball betting with the world.
Wisdom's a strong word. Glad that the World Cup is taking place far away with the time zone. It gets shaky sometimes when we have these international events. I think the last Olympics, like there were events going on at like 1 a.m. It's terrible. The Olympics and the World Cup should be in like America, England, and then after that, just kind of rotate it out because
I think
the
it should
time
just be on.
zones.
I think it should just be on Jersey time.
I agree too. I mean, I could deal with Pacific. I could deal with West Coast time. That's fine. But this isn't too bad. Games start at like I think 5 a.m. is what early games are going to be, which is not bad. But they made sure, I'm sure that Fox said, hey, USA is not going to be playing any game not at 2 o'clock, which is the latest that any of the games start. So they're smart about it. Tomorrow, game one against Wales, 2 p.m., 1 o'clock coverage starts. I can't wait. Super excited. I got my Pulisic jersey on today.
Well, very good. Well, another banner week for Richie Longshots. Now 14-6-1 on the year. Did we get a final on Gonzaga, Kentucky? Is that game gone final yet?
Gonzaga was up pretty big. I'll check right now for you. I'm also watching the Grey Cup, little Canadian Super Bowl. Always entertaining. 68-57 Gonzaga. My wife made me put away all the other TVs, Will.
Oh, so it looks like another L for John. Oh, man.
Yeah, poor guy.
So it looks like you're going to be 15-6-1. Whew. Man,
it's a good start. I heard Will say that I'm going to be paying for his kids to go to school. If I keep this up, I won't have to send his kids to public school. So this is a good sign.
Yeah, I could see you promising them, a good education and then wind up getting them lithium laptop batteries.
Scott's tots.
Yeah, they will get Michael Scotted. Like they're going to no, sorry kids. 2 years of community college, better get a scholarship.
Long shots tots.
Yeah.
Print the banner. All right, let's see what we got going on this week. Here are the 11 tilts that you need to know. Monday night, this is the Maui Invitational first round. San Diego State versus Ohio State. We were split across the board 2-2 on this. I think San Diego State is a really good team. I know the 3 points is like so tempting, with Ohio State, but man, San Diego State, they are really tough. They're a tough matchup, I think, in one of these like tournament settings. They're just like, they're a pain to play. They're annoying. Why do you like Ohio State though, long shots?
So I looked at some numbers and it just seemed the team seemed even to me. I don't know what their KenPom ranking was, but in a situation like this, give me the points. I don't know what the spread's probably going to be end up closer to Ohio State just because of public money and the name of Ohio State. They're always going to take money when they see San Diego State. So if I can catch 3 in this situation when the Vegas line's probably going to be, closer to 1, maybe even Ohio State is the favorite, I'll take the 3 points and hope for the best.
All right, the next game, I love this game. I think this game is awesome. Northern Kentucky and Florida Gulf Coast. This is Florida Gulf Coast is they get to do a little Thanksgiving tournament on their home floor. Northern Kentucky, though, is favored. I know Northern Kentucky just knocked off Cincinnati. I think they're predicted to win the Horizon. They're a really, really good quality mid-major, but I'm getting Florida Gulf Coast with points against another mid-major at home.
Yeah, and all their families are going to be there. Like that's going to be everyone they know. You get to play in front of you think Thanksgiving not going to be a big crowd, but they're going to be. It's their tournament, especially if it's the opener of the tournament. They schedule that with all right. Who's the team that we're going to be able to beat the most? I couldn't tell you who else is in the tournament, but I'm fairly sure that they were like, all right, it's like a homecoming game. Who are we going to walk away with? All right. Northern Kentucky, any of the directional schools in any state.
If I may, Nick, I like the idea of Florida Gulf Coast hosting their own tournament. We hear a lot about how difficult it is to schedule. I'd like to see I know there's always been some talk of like an All Virginia tournament or something like that. But even if that doesn't happen or never materializes, it'd be cool to have Liberty have some kind of tournament where they can kind of help other, regional teams fill some of those spots like that.
I agree completely. It might be a little tougher to sell Lynchburg in November than Fort Myers, Florida. But hey, I love the idea. I love the idea. Maybe we can do it maybe we do the end of October. I don't know. Push the season up to start the Liberty Classic.
Blue Ridge Shootout.
We had that one tournament where Houston came because a venue got canceled or something weird. I don't remember the exact what was behind it, but they had all these great teams coming. Because Liberty's the only team that could do it. But all right, Bellarmine at Duke. I'm the only one who's riding the Knights. Bellarmine. I'm not high on them. I've picked against them, I think, every time, but they're just a team that doesn't beat themselves. I feel like this is a trap game for Duke. Not they're not going to lose, but the Thanksgiving week, you got all these big games, and you got to go beat Bellarmine by 22. I'm riding with it. Or you think I'm insane, long shots?
No, and I said I would never take Duke, but they're just steamrolling teams right now. It's classic Duke. Outside of the ACC challenge and maybe one game, they play an absolute cupcake schedule. They just roll these teams now, and it's kind of what they've done all year. And I've 2 of my 6 losses have been because I've faded Duke, so it's a third of them. So of course now
the overcorrection
close, and
bites you every time.
Every time.
It's a tough one. That was a game that I honestly I don't have a great field. No way I would actually put money on this game at all.
No, because then you're sweating things out. I've been since, as you might have heard, I caught the COVIDs. That's why I was not in town this weekend. So ever since Friday morning, I've just been, first thing I do, one of the first things that I wake up, what time does the earliest college basketball game start? I'm 11 o'clock. Awesome. 10:30, even better. So I've watched some terrible college basketball over the last 72 or so hours. And, those games where the spread's 33.5 and you're just no one's trying anymore. Walk-ons are coming on. It's way too unpredictable. Way too unpredictable.
Before we move on, so the Monday games, believe it or not, all these lines so far are almost identical. San Diego State's 2.5. Northern Kentucky is 2.5. They got an extra half point, and Duke is 22.5. So Vegas is going right with KenPom. They may adjust quite a bit overnight, but they are true to form. All right, Tuesday. I am stunned. I am absolutely stunned. I respect it. Taking Liberty +4. I feel like this is probably going to be +8, 9. You really gonna take Liberty at 4?
Might be a little bounce back. I think we might be one of those alternating teams. Win, loss, win, loss. Time to swing back with the win. And I do think that obviously super slow start on Friday. And Southern Miss is a legitimate team. Look at who they've beaten. They are good. And Northwestern, they lost Larry Nance, correct? Last year, over at UNC this year. And it's Cancun. Our players are not going to go party it up in Cancun. Not that Northwestern's a giant party school either. Let's be real. This might be the most sober game in the world. You don't have to worry about take the over because no one in this game is going to be hungover. This is how I get canceled. But yeah, give me Liberty. I just think that it's a good bounce back spot. I said the same thing last week that they were going to bounce back against one of the directional North Carolina teams that we played, and it was a big win. We'll see what happens after that, but I think Liberty can keep it close. Maybe one possession game.
If I may, no surprise that Homer Chad would pick Liberty. I mean, he can't be honest about the state of Liberty athletics. He can't be honest about due criticism where it should be, and he is just afraid of losing his media access.
Yeah, he's actually he's got eyes on him at all times. If he were to say anything wrong, it would just be curtains.
Yeah, you don't get the kind of hard-hitting analysis like you get from me. But all right, moving on. Wednesday, battle for Atlanta's first round. Dayton versus Wisconsin. This is an awesome game too. I took Dayton -2. long shots, you took Dayton -2. I think Dayton's the better team, so 2 points doesn't seem like a whole lot, but this is such a coin flip in my opinion.
Yeah, when I was looking, I looked at some of the ESPN numbers, and their percentage to win were, I think it was just shocking. Like Dayton was like 60% to win, and I went, all right, 2 points, 60% chance to win. I'm in.
Math checks out.
Yeah.
All right. Chad and John both have Wisconsin, so.
Well, judging by their year-to-date records, I think we're in a good spot.
Lipscomb at Chattanooga. This is a good line, -5.
Yeah.
I went with Chattanooga just at home. That's a pretty good program in the SoCon. And I sick of getting burned from fading Lipscomb, but I'm going to do it again. You're with me?
Yeah, I like Chattanooga. I liked them last year a lot. They were one of those teams, I spotted early, and I went, all right, I'm gonna watch this team for a little bit. My team this year that I've been watching, Furman. Been watching Furman. They got an offense. They got a lot of players that can shoot the three. I remember watching Chattanooga last year, following them for a little bit. So, you get in the crumbs now. You can get yourself ready for March Madness. So, watch some Chattanooga last year, and I like to invest in the teams that I enjoy watching. So, Chattanooga is one of those teams. So that was a slam dunk.
Yeah, Furman is a sneaky Sweet 16 team.
Yeah,
you heard it here.
Yep.
All right. I got some logic here because I fade North Florida every time I can. I'm taking North Florida +28 at Kentucky. I'm going to give you a quick story time. Back in 2007, went to see Liberty play at Kentucky on the night before Thanksgiving, which is what this game is. And it was a awful atmosphere. Like, there was no students there. It was lame. It was not Kentucky, not what you would expect at all. So I think North Florida is going to capitalize. I think they're going to cover that 28 just simply because of that. And Kentucky's coming off playing Gonzaga. Just going to be hard to bring the energy against North Florida, in my opinion, night before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, they just got whooped, though, against Gonzaga. So, like, Calipari, they might not get to eat Thanksgiving dinner if they don't beat North Florida by 35. Like, it might be. So, now that I know what's going on in the Gonzaga game, I'm even more confident Kentucky should just. I hope.
We'll see. We'll see. All right, Alabama, Michigan State. This is the PKI, I think is what it's called now in Oregon. Long shots has taken the Alabama. I mean, Alabama has looked insane, but Sparty getting 2 points. I feel like I'm getting baited into them. You didn't take the bait?
No, Alabama's size, the way they can shoot the ball. I just feel like their style of play can match up against whatever they need to do. Like, they're the kind of team, all right, we're playing a pack line defense, we're going to make it work. We're playing this, we're going to make it work. So I think they have a style, and Nate Oates is a great coach. And obviously Izzo's a great coach as well. But I think Nate Oates has a lot of talent, and that team is just very flexible.
Yeah, that's going to be an awesome tournament. That tournament is loaded. A lot of really good teams in that. So looking forward to that. All right, Friday, Jacksonville State at New Mexico. If we're looking for the game that I'm going to 5 minutes in feel so dumb for my pick, this is it. I'm taking Jacksonville State +11. I just feel like they're kind of desperate right now. They don't have that D1 win. New Mexico, they really going to win by 11. I know it's like a home tournament game over Thanksgiving. I don't know. Long shots, you went with New Mexico.
Yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing for this one. It's one of those. I got that. Yeah.
All right. Kennesaw at VCU. Me and long shots riding with Kennesaw +11. That is a lot of points for a Kennesaw team that only lost by 10 to Florida. So I gotta think they can keep it 10 or less against VCU, who at times struggles to score.
Yeah, and I feel like I was looking at what they've done this year, and nothing's really popped out to me. Like, they don't have any impressive wins. And if I feel like Kennesaw, that game against Florida, it was one of the games that we picked, and they scored a lot of points late. I think spread was like 18, and they were not covering for a while, and then they scored a bunch right at the end to get it within 10. So they can score. So I think that's definitely a possibility. Give me 11 points. definitely.
VCU could win like a 9-point game that's like never competitive. Like I feel like, I think Kennesaw. I don't think VCU can score enough to win by 11 against Kennesaw.
No, and seeing Kennesaw like charge back against Florida, that coach is going to play until the end. He might be one of those, hey, we need to cover for the alumni coaches, and I'm in on that.
Yeah, I had one of those great ones today with LaSalle. Real great backdoor cover. Beautiful. And then the game, I feel like disgusted that we all don't think Liberty can cover a 24-point spread against Delaware State, one of the worst programs in the country. But Delaware State, I think they only lost to Villanova by 10. It's a lot of points. Ugh.
Yeah. Delaware State is bad, though. They're bad.
They're awful. They're
bad.
And Liberty crushed them last year. I think it was one of the KenPom records for one of the best offensive performances ever for Liberty. So it's so many points, but this is absolutely guaranteed lock of the week. Liberty's going to win by 24, just like we all with Florida Gulf Coast. No way Tennessee's going to beat them by 25, and it was
never close either. Like there was no. Let me check back in the second half. It was nope.
Yeah, the 31 was deceiving. I think it should have been like 50. It was great. It was.
Quick tip: Delaware State. They've been so bad for so long that every time conference tournament season rolls around, one of the first things I do is, all right, who's Delaware State playing in the first round? I don't even know the name of the conference, and I'm like, all right, fade Delaware State, because at that point they have given up. They don't care. They know they're not winning the conference tournament, and they're normally playing like a 4 seed, like they're the 13. They're playing a 4 seed, or they're playing a good team, like the team that didn't get a bye in their conference tournament. They're playing a good team, and they just get steamrolled every year. Like that's the only reason I know Delaware State. It's playing on some random channel. I have to download the app every year. But Delaware State, fade Delaware State, the first round of the conference tournament. It's an automatic win.
All right. I like it. Delaware State out of the MEAC.
Yep, MEAC. The MEAC, I think they have their own app.
I like it, yeah. What a season. Yeah, they lost to Virginia Tech by 38, lost to Villanova by 10, lost to Columbia by 5, and then lost to UConn by 35. So
everybody's losing to UConn and Virginia Tech these days.
Yeah. Good
point.
Except for Charleston. Charleston beat Virginia Tech today. Good for Charleston.
I don't think he got the football joke, Will.
Good deal.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I was at a bouncy house yesterday. Well, very good. Well, Mr. Longshots, we'll check in with you again next week. See if you can continue to ride any other you got any other feast week tips or any other World Cup tips for those of us out here that partake?
So I do like England tomorrow. It's the opener, 8:00 tomorrow morning. I think England will score more than 2.5 goals. It's plus money. They have a really, really good offense. Their defense is suspect, and I don't trust Pickford in goal, but they have a world-class offense. Harry Kane, I think, is going to score 2 goals right off the bat. And then on top of that, when you have Callum Wilson, who's going to come off the bench, Saka, Sterling, a ton of options. I could be making up fake names right now, and you guys, you have no idea what I'm talking about.
Ted Lasso.
Yeah. Jamie Tart, and they're going to do great. No, Feast Week is all time. And I feel like Feast Week now, it's like 2 weeks. Like, to me, Feast Week started Wednesday-ish. And I'm like, ooh, is college basketball on? Or the Penn State was playing at like noon on a Wednesday. It was just, it's a great time of college basketball season. To mix in the World Cup with it, it's just a great time of sports. Remember, bet with your head, not over it. There's a disclaimer. It's all in good fun. I'm not putting money on every single one of those games. That would be very irresponsible of me to do so. So just be smart. I've seen a lot of articles. I've seen a lot of stats that gambling on sports is a legit issue for a lot of people, and it absolutely is. And so just be smart and don't be an idiot. And don't bet over your head. Tithe, too. Tithe. If you do win, tithe. right? That's still
Amen.
a thing, right?
Amen.
10%.
Don't preach.
I like it. All right,
you need to get the gambling hotline number on the bottom of the screen there.
Yeah. We'll work on it.
Next week. All right. Yeah. Well, thank you, Richie. Appreciate it as always.
Guys.
Have a great week, bud. Happy
See ya.
Thanksgiving.
You too.